Next, we'll explore the Comments UI. I've simplified the Comments UI a bit, mostly to keep the code short and understandable. I could support arbitrary depth, threaded comments, and various other capabilities, but this creates some usability issues eventually as space narrows and it becomes harder to follow the discussion thread. So I limited the replies to top-level comments only and tried to simplify the user experience a bit. I also used pill-shaped comments instead of round rectangles. They just look nice and I left it at that. Let's check out the code. This is the text field where the user can type in his own comments to submit. Comments are placed in a scrollable box layout container in the center of the form. When we press reply to a specific comment, its ID is placed here. The border layout is needed so we can place the text field input in the bottom of the form. We don't add the text field directly though. We also add a send button with it by wrapping them both into a border layout together. I used static import of font image so this line will work correctly. If the send button or the done button in the virtual keyboard is pressed, we post the comment currently within the text field. This adds the existing comment to the UI. There were a few methods mentioned in this code that we need to go over, specifically post comment, add comment. Let's start with the former. We connect to the server, so we need to show a blocking UI dialog. We construct a comment object and set the values for it. Notice we don't need the comment ID as that's generated in the server. The server API does the heavy lifting of submitting the comment. When we are done, we need to explicitly clear the text field, otherwise the submitted comment would still be there. We animate the UI to valid state after the addition of the comment. This naturally leads to the add comment method. Create comment creates the visual representation of a comment. We'll discuss it next. The comment doesn't have a parent. If the comment doesn't have a parent, we'll just add it directly to the list of comments. We search through the hierarchy to find the parent comment component. Assuming we find it, we can nest the component. Every parent component, comment component, has a container for replies, children, that's nested into it. If the child container isn't there yet, we create it dynamically and add it. Notice that we add to a specific offset within the container, so the comments appear below the parent. If the child container already exists, we can add to it directly. Notice that since comments are already sorted by time, adding to the end will always work correctly and consistently. With that, we effectively implemented one level of comment nesting. We can further generalize the nesting logic to allow additional or even infinite levels of nesting, but as I said earlier, this might have usability issues. Finally, we need a few additional methods to implement the creation of the comment, etc. Create comment generates the component that represents this given comment and potentially the reply button. The comment itself is just a text area with a comment UI ID. We make that text uneditable. We fetch an avatar image for the chat. I could have used rounding and similar effects, but I chose to keep the code simple. If we reply to a specific comment, we just change the ID of the parent comment. The comment instance is stored in the component's client properties, so we can later connect them in the find parent comment method. Find parent comment loops through the container and finds the component matching this component ID. If the comment we are looking at has the same ID, then we can return this component. In this case, the component matching this ID doesn't exist or isn't there yet. If in this method we return an image matching the user's avatar, which is exposed via /user/avatar/user ID on the server. With that, comments form is nearly done. We need a CSS style for comment. It's black text over light gray background in pill-rounded shape. The one thing to notice is the padding. We need a lot of it to keep the text away from the curve of the border. Now, comments form should just work once we plug it in. To do that, we need to go to Create News Item in Newsfeed Container. While we are here, we might as well implement the like functionality too. We set the like toggle buttons selected state if the user already liked this post. We invoke like on a click. This is already implemented in the server API, so this is just one call. We add the action listener that invokes the comments form, and that's it. Like and comments should work.